Hey guys, so today we're looking at perimeter. Perimeter is probably something that you've looked at before and you probably feel a little bit comfortable with. We're going to get into some questions a little bit later on that are more problem-solving based questions where you sort of have to find some unknown measurements, okay? But once we get to those, obviously I'll give you a chance to do some questions and have a go at those. But let's just have a recap of what perimeter is, okay? So obviously we're looking at 2D shapes when it comes to perimeter. And during this lesson, we're going to learn how to find the perimeter of 2D shapes, okay? So I'm hoping that everybody, when I say perimeter, you know the difference between perimeter and area. So area is the space that's inside an object. So if we looked at this blue circle here, okay, if we looked at this blue sort of oval shape, the area would be the area on the inside of it, and the perimeter would be the distance around the shape, okay? So we need to, when we find the perimeter, we need to determine the length of each side of the shape. So that's obviously really important. So with this one here, we would determine this length, and also the curves, okay? Although we're not doing any curves this year in year 7, so we don't need to worry about curves. Number 2, we need to make sure they are all in the same units and then add them. So sometimes you might have to do some converting of metric lengths, okay? And when we convert metric lengths, obviously, when we're finding perimeter, we just need to make sure that they are all in the same units. They have to be all in the same units. And number 3, be sure to display the correct units in your answer. All right, so if there's any conversions that are going on, just make sure that you are showing it in centimeters. Obviously, when we get into area, we'll be doing squared units, but with perimeter, we just do normal units, okay? So here's an example, all right? What's really important here is I show you how to set out your working out, okay? So number 1, we need to determine the lengths of each side. All sides in this question are in centimeters. So I've got this side here, that's great. I've got this side, I've got this side, and I've got this side. So this shape has 4 sides, okay? And so that's pretty simple, okay? All we do is we write P. P stands for perimeter, equals 13, 3, 9, and 5, okay? And this line of working is really important. And the reason why it's really important is if you make a calculation error when you add these up, but you've written that down, you're still going to get marks, okay? So when we add all of those together, we get our answer. I've got my units there at the end, but it's really important that we have this line of working at the very beginning, okay? So that's perimeter. That's pretty much all there is to it. It's a pretty simple topic. I'm going to get you guys to do some practice now. So all of these answers are in, or all of these measurements are in millimeters. Okay, they're in millimeters. So have a go at doing those. I'll put a timer up. I'll give you about 2 minutes to do it. I want you to make sure you get the setting out correct. This first lot of questions are pretty simple. Okay, they're probably revision from previous years. And then the next lot of questions, you guys are going to have to do some investigating to find different lengths. So have a go at these, and then we'll go through the answers. Okay guys, answers time. So let's do this first one. We're getting our working out correct. So I'm going to put P equals 5 plus 5 plus 3. Okay, so I've got all of my measurements there, which means that P equals 13 and my units are millimeters in this one. And that's my answer. Next one. This is a shape that was similar to the one in the example. So I've got 25 plus 19 plus 15 plus 39. And when you would do that, I would, that's not easy to add together. So I would be setting it out personally to add those up. All right. So 5 and 5 is 10, 19, and that makes 28. I've got 2, 4, 6, 9. So I've got 98 millimeters. Okay. Down here, perimeter equals 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1. Okay, 2, 4, 6, 7 millimeters. And the last one here now, there's only 2 measurements shown on this one. However, we've got our little markers here, which tells us that this marker is the same length as this side here. So that side there is also 4, okay? And this side here, because there's 2, okay? There's those markers again, it tells me that this side is also 2. So it's a rectangle. This is a rectangle. So 4 plus 4 plus 2 plus 2, and that gives me 8, 10, 12 millimeters, okay? All right, so the next lot of questions, guys, there are some missing lengths. There's some missing lengths, okay? So this one here, it's missing. This one here, it's missing. It's missing, okay? So there are a number of lengths that are missing here, okay? We're going to go through these at the end. I'm not going to give you too many clues to start off with. I want you guys to try and investigate these, see if you can find out these missing lengths or if you can find out a way to work out the answers for these questions. And then I'll go through the answers in a couple of minutes. So good luck, have a go. All of the units are marked on the shapes, okay? There's no conversions that you need to do. They're all the same units, okay? But see if you can find out these unknown lengths. Good luck. Alrighty, time to go through some answers. So here we go. I'm going to set out my work correctly. Okay. Now, when I do these, what I usually do is I tick sides off as I go. So this length here is 12. I know what that one is. This one here is 8. Let's tick that off. This one here is 4. Let's tick that off. Now, I have 1, 2, 3 measurements that I'm not aware of. Okay, 3 measurements. So, firstly, 1 and 2. Okay, 2 goes for this length. Okay, and 1 goes for that length there, obviously. So this side is exactly the same length as this side. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to write down 12. Okay, I'm going to write down 12. And now this length along the bottom is 8. Okay, it is 8. And this one here is 4, which means that I've got 4 there. Okay, and this total section is 8. So if this is 4, then that must be 4 as well. So now I can add those together. 12 plus 8 is 20. Okay, plus 4 and 12 makes 16, 20. So I'm adding 20 and 20 together. So that means my answer is going to be 40 centimeters. Okay, now I want to show you a different way of doing this. Okay, because this is a very handy way of doing these. Okay, so this is 12 here. Okay, this is 8 there. Okay, I also have 8 along the top. Okay, even though there is a big chunk missing here, all right, even though that is missing, I still have that length there. Okay, so that means that this side is also 8. And because over on this side it goes that length as well, it's also 12. So I could just do 12 and 8 is 20, 12 and 8 is 20, my answer is 40. And if I jump over here, it's exactly the same thing. I could do 15 plus 11 plus 15 plus 11, okay? It doesn't matter that that there is missing. It's exactly the same with this one. I could just do 25 plus 25 plus 22 plus 22. It doesn't matter that this is missing, okay? Now, this would affect the area of the shape, okay, but it doesn't affect the perimeter. The length of this shape is still exactly the same as what the length of that shape would be if it wasn't missing that section. So this rectangle here would be exactly the same as this rectangle here. Okay, let's just assume that both of these are drawn to scale and they're both exactly the same scale. Even if I took out a big chunk like that, okay, and I was missing that, it would still be the same perimeter as this one on the bottom, okay? And it's the same with this one here, all right? Our shape is that long and it is also that length, all right? So with this next one here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go perimeter equals 11 plus 11, because this side is 11 as well, plus 15 plus 15, because it's 15 up the top, okay? So 11 and 11 is 22, and 15 and 15 is 30, so that means my answer there is 52 centimeters, okay, 52 centimeters. This one down the bottom, I've got 2.5 meters up the top, okay, which means I've got 2.5 meters down the bottom, okay, and I'm just going to write, sorry, I don't have much room here. Usually I'd have all of this on one line, but I'm going to use 2 lines in this instance. Now the key here is to find out how long a side is. Okay, we need to find out how long a side is. So I've got 1.2 and 0.8, which means it's 2 meters, okay, 2 meters on the side, and I've got 2 sides of 2 meters, okay, so 2.5 plus 2.5 is 5, and 2 and 2 is 4, so that means that my perimeter on that one equals 9 meters. All right, my last one here, I've got 25 meters here, all right, 25 meters there, and then I've got 22 meters there. So I've got 2 lots of 25, and then I've got 2 lots of 22. All right, okay, 25 and 25 is 50, and 22 and 22 is 44, so 50 and 44 together make 94 millimeters. So there's a few little trick ways, cheat ways that you can find out those. Whenever you've got a shape that's basically a square or a rectangle, and it just has bits missing out of it, it will be the same perimeter, okay, as what that square or rectangle originally would have been, okay? It doesn't affect perimeter. It only affects area, okay? Like you could have a shape that looked like this, okay? You have stairs, right? This shape here would have, that didn't work out so well, did it? Hang on, there we go. This shape here would work out exactly the same perimeter as a shape that was a rectangle that had the same dimensions, okay, on the side and on the bottom, all right? It would have exactly the same perimeter. Wouldn't have the same area, but it would have the same perimeter, okay? So whenever you have squares or rectangles and they're missing spots, the perimeter is quite simple to find if you can remember that little trick, okay? All right, guys, it is time that you did some of the understanding questions. If you finish the understanding questions, jump into the problem-solving questions. Problem-solving questions have some questions in there like those ones that we just did. And good luck. If you have any questions, please jump into the meeting and we can go through it a little bit more. Good luck.